our next hot topic. Actor Terrence Howard exposes the dark side of Hollywood and him not being a part of the rituals of success. He said that his career is a good career, but he feels like his career is not of top tier in a sense because he doesn't get, those particular roles because he doesn't engage in the rituals that it would take to get these roles. He also goes on to speak about uh, a part of that was a time where he felt like Diddy was making a pass at him because there was a time that Diddy, asked him to be his acting coach. He said when he got around Diddy, he said, "Hey man, show me the script. Show me what you trying to do." And he said Diddy was just looking at him. Then Diddy calls him up again to say, "Hey man, I heard you got some music. You trying to release some music. I would love to hear it. To help you with the music." Terrence Howard brings the music, and again, Diddy just looking at him. And then his assistant says, "Hey man, Diddy reached out to you again. He wants to see you this week, And he's like, "For what?" And his assistant said to Terrence Howard, "I think he's trying to have sex with you." And he said from there, he killed all contact with P. Diddy. So what do you think about him exposing the dark sides of Hollywood and not engaging in the success rituals and the Diddy situation?
I think it's kind of convenient that you can speak about it now that one person's locked up in jail. I think that's very convenient. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about that goofy shit 2 years ago about 1+1 ain't 2 or whatever goofiness you was talking about, you ain't bring it up then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't tell us when this supposed advance on you happened. You ain't give dates or time. So it's like it was definitely before he went to was locked up. So why didn't you speak about it then? Not saying that you're supposed to speak about it at certain times, whatever you feel the time is right for you to express yourself. It's fine. But I find it just very convenient that when you do speak about it, the person that you're speaking against can't rebuttal what you're saying. So it's very convenient. And then on top of that, Terrence Howard, you're an actor. I don't believe no actors. You're paid to lie for a living. Period. You know what I'm saying? Anything you say is not credible. Because how do I know it's true? Because you could play a rapper, you could play a drug dealer, you play a father, you play a coach, you play a firefighter, you do method acting. How do I know you telling the truth? I don't believe it. Now, if there was evidence of this prior to this, you've had made conversations about this and like in certain ways and never like really said it in an all-out way, then yes, maybe. But since we don't have none of this prior to this, and now this is the first time you're coming out, I'm not gonna call cap, I just call it highly suspicious. And it's just, I don't know, I just don't believe actors. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to really believe y'all because all y'all do is lie for a living. That's what y'all get paid to do. You know what I'm saying? You could be a Thoisy person, but you're gonna play a straight actor. No problem, because the bread is good. How much they paid you to say this? I don't know. I don't believe none of y'all, son. So it's just very hard to believe with no paperwork, no evidence. You going to the police or saying this about this, that, and the third, having a talk with, and then on top of that, how you not have a talk with the man and be like, "Yo, my nigga, what are you doing? Diddy's that scary that y'all can't speak to y'all? He had y'all shook like that? Come on, dog. Ain't no man can make you do nothing that you don't want to do. You feel me? Anything that a man is making you do that you don't want to do is only two options. Either one of you leave or none of y'all leave. Because can nobody make me do something I don't want to do. The only way you're going to do that is if I'm out of here. That's the only way. You can't convince me otherwise. If I tell you I don't want to do something, that's it. There's no convincing. There's none of this. So if you're telling me that this man making advances on you and you ain't press him, you ain't do nothing. What'd you do? When the first time he was looking at you funny in the studio, did you say something? Did you address it? You know what I'm saying? That's why I find it highly suspicious. I'm not saying it didn't happen or it didn't. It's just very questionable.
I mean, at the end of the day, looking at the situation altogether, his basic, to add on to what he said too, um, because I don't want to miss anything. Rowan Jack said it in the chat where he basically also added where he don't engage in that because once you lose your man card, you can never get it back. He says you never seen him kiss another man. You never seen him play gay roles. He doesn't roll like that. He doesn't do that. So because he feels like once you give up your man card, you can never get it back, whether it's voluntarily or involuntarily. You're going to need some counseling. And he's saying that most people that are moving in Hollywood, you kind of see them wear the shame, and it's hard for them to get away from the shame because they gave up their man card.
Why is that the modus operandi to do business though? You know what I'm saying? Why is that the modus operandi? For you to do business, you went to acting school to be an actor, but for you to get this role, you gotta do some doisy shit? How does that make sense? And nobody's calling this out as it being something that's prevalent. How does that move the business forward? How does you giving up your manhood move the business forward? How? That has to be explained. Because ain't nowhere in other businesses that's not the business norm. Imagine working at Burger King. You working at Fry's, but you want to flip burgers. So your manager say, well, for you to flip burgers, you know what I'm saying, we gotta go in the back and do some things. Then you come out with the shame, but now you the top burger flipper. How does that go together? What type of business is this? And if this is the energy that the business is around, why are y'all fucking with it? And it seems like if that's how everybody's doing, why is it certain people getting called out? It always seems like whenever you listen to these Oscars and the Academy Awards, they be saying some slick ass jokes. If you go back to some of these awards and some of these things that they be saying, it's like a norm. But why is that the norm? Why is everybody comfortable with that being the norm?
So that's the foundation of it.
So if that's the foundation of it and you partake in it, how do I know you ain't do it? Because you ain't take a gay role, you ain't do this, that, and the third, but you get money from them niggas.
Because the foundation of Hollywood is definitely pedophilia.
Okay, so if that's the foundation and I'm getting money from them, how do I separate myself? If you're the person on the outside and you see me getting money from this person and you know how fucked up that person is, would you or would you not look at me fucked up for fucking dealing with them? You have every right to. Even though you know me and like, oh, that's not how you move, but I'm moving with somebody that's fucked up. Eventually you're gonna look at me like, nah, you could move fucked up too, because you dealing with that person. Mm-hmm. So if the whole industry is like that, how you gonna tell me, oh, I kept my head down, I did this and that and the third, when knowing damn well they're gonna always push buttons. They're gonna put you in the corner, they're gonna do these things to set you up. Well, I won't forget, Terrance, how we seen you playing Sunset Park.
Spaceman.
Like, come on, dog. Stop, son. That's what I'm saying about these actors, man. Y'all niggas be lying, son. And we know we can't put you on the stand.
But he didn't play a gay role in Sunset Park though.
No, it's not my point. It's the point of where you coming up in the beginning. You ain't had no power in the beginning. So if they wanted to play you a da-dun-da-dun, you gonna play a da-dun-da-dun. Mm-hmm. With no problem.
Well, he started off hot though. I'm not gonna lie. His biggest role in the very beginning was probably the American Dream. I don't know if you remember the American Dream about the Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. They're base rooted. So he was basically considered a teenage, not a child actor, but like a teenage actor, and grew up in the business.
So you definitely ain't had no power if you was a teenage actor or a child actor. So let's not even get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What power did you have? Mm-hmm. You gonna go into these conference rooms with upper echelon people and you gonna tell them what role you want? Come on, dog. Stop.
So should he not speak about it?
Huh?
Should he not speak about it and just let it be? Just because
If
he's a
you've been getting checks from that same institution that's been doing it, how can I take what you're saying credible after 40 years? Only now it's a problem? You've been in the industry for 40 years. The only time they complain is when they not getting enough money for hustling and flow, and they not cutting my check and this, that, and the third. That's the only time I hear problems. But they throwing parties all the time. I'm just saying, what's really going on?
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting altogether. I mean, Terrence Howard seems like a very smart dude. I'm not going to take that away from him. A lot of things that he say is going to be out of the box to most people, but at the end of the day, he's in an industry that the foundation is based off of dysfunction. So am I. I'm a part of the music industry. I'm a music artist, but I didn't sign to a major based on my principles. And I started my own label. And even though it was slower money, I was able to benefit because I learned the business and I was able to divide my checks one way instead of dividing my checks 10, 15 ways and being able to rely on the people. When I first dropped my music, I went to the streets because I was used to the streets because I worked with a company that sold products for the NFL, Warner Brothers, and so on and so forth. So I took those skills, took my product, and went to the same people and different people as far as just people in the city, and I was able to support my music based on that. So that might be a little slightly different because I relied on the people and not the industry. But it doesn't mean what he's saying is any less true. Could this situation have happened? Absolutely. Did it happen? We don't know. You raised a perfect point about timing. Diddy's in jail. Can't speak on this. It'll be kind of different if you speaking on this and he's out and he's one person that been speaking before Diddy even did any jail time and he's still speaking is Gene Dill, which is his former security guard, which is kind of weird in a sense because you would think the security guards always had like what's the I can't think of what the word I'm looking for, but they've always supposed to have some sort of like they can't reveal the happenings when when they watch somebody like a
Right.
Puffy.
Because how you gonna get deals with another
Right,
high price celebrity if you telling the secrets of your former employer?
right. They said in the chat NDA. That's why I couldn't
So
think of.
that's why I don't believe these people. It's like, yo, now you talking because what, the checks, the money is drying up? Because when the situation was happening, you ain't say shit. But now all of a sudden you want to talk. Nah, son, get out of here. Like that's not how this shit goes. Like you either stand on for something and you stand right there when the shit is happening and you make a stance, or you don't say shit at all. Don't speak. Go down with the shit when it comes down. Don't be coming out like a rat. Now all of a sudden, oh, I got a story to tell and this, that, and the third. Nah, miss me with that.
But I do agree with him wholeheartedly with the fact that he said once you give up your man card, you cannot get that back.
Hey, that's everything. That's logical. You ain't say nothing, my nigga. You been in the league for 40 years. You ain't say nothing when the league was doing what it was doing. What was you doing when the league was doing what it was doing? Where was you at? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, get out of here.
So that's why I say I agree with him because if you realize certain actors, after they play certain roles, you could kind of see the light in their eyes change a little bit. I remember one of my, I don't want to say my favorite young actors, but he was one of those actors that when you seen him on screen, it was explosive. He always was coming in with great energy, and that's DeAndre Bonds. And he played great roles in a whole bunch of movies. I'm talking about The Wood is a classic movie. Get on the Bus is a classic movie. Sunset Park is a classic movie. He played Busy Bee in Sunset Park. I remember seeing him in another oh my god, it's a scary movie. Tales from the Hood. I remember he played Tales in the Hood. Excellent movie. He did a movie called Lockdown, and his particular character gets raped in the movie. Mind you, the movie outside of that scene is a actually great movie, and it's more of a cautionary tale of a movie. But after he did that movie, you could kind of see the light. Like even though the scene in itself, the magic of making a movie and making a scene, somebody's not actually not in that particular scene. He wasn't actually getting rotted, but just the visual of him getting rotted and him giving head and stuff like that, you could kind of see like there was like a change in the energy when he comes and does movies. So, and I'm not saying he lost his man card in real life, but you know the visual is enough.
That's what Hollywood does. It's all of it is symbolical.
Mm-hmm.
All of it is symbolical. You're gonna lose your man card by playing a scene like that. You're not
Right.
gonna be yourself no more. You're gonna lose your man card by doing questionable scenes or wearing a dress.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to lose your manhood by them forcibly taking it from you.
Right.
But you could lose your manhood by you have a certain type of morals and they make you question your morals or make you go against your morals for some bread.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you lose your manhood. That's how you lose your soul. That's how you lose your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
By taking a role, knowing damn well you ain't want to take the role for some money. And then turn around, that money gone because you done spent it all already. Now what?
And then
now you're willing to do something more for a little piece of change because you want that bread again.
Mm-hmm. And it's looked at different, right? Because the reason why I say it's looked at different is because certain actors, when they pull it off, I don't know if we expect that already, but it doesn't become a big deal. Nobody talks about Robert Downey Jr. And it's, I can't think of the movie to save my life right now, but it was a movie that he did when he was a younger man, and the movie was about him sleeping with his best friend's girlfriend, and that sent him down a down spiral amongst other things that was going on in his life. He started gambling, and then one of his, high school friends was like, "Yo, man, I know a way where you can get your money up." And one of the ways was bending over and giving top. And in the movie, his best friend was so mad with Robert Downey Jr. that he went to where he was at to confront him, and he was in a room giving some dude top. Nobody says anything about that. Not excusing it, but nobody says anything about the man card. Same thing with Jake Gyllenhaal. Brokeback Mountain. Nobody don't mention that at all. And it goes along for other actors as well too. And that man card just never comes up in the conversation. And it's just funny how, not funny, but people are selective with it.
I feel that's where the psychological warfare come into play because they could use that same tactic and be like, yeah, see, Robert Downey Jr. did it, Jake Gyllenhaal did it. It was great for their career.
Right.
You should do it too, and that's where they get you.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be the same people that talk about, oh, I'm not forsaking my manhood and this, that, and the third. And then later on, you find out they did a questionable scene or a questionable role. They wore a dress in this scene, or they played a gay robber or something. Like, I don't know why he had to be gay, but okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just always, when it comes to us, they always put us in questionable roles. When it comes to them, I mean, their history showcases they always been cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's not a problem for them. In all honesty, their history has always showcased they've been okay with that type of stuff.
Right.
No problems. But us, we on a different caliber.
Mm-hmm.
You know we don't rock with that. but they want to make you be okay with these things that you know inside you're not okay with.
And it changes the trajectory of it as well, and they pick them, and it just never was the same. And even though he's still having a great career, DeAndre Bond, great actor, but it seemed different after that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that that's what he engages in, but the fact that you agree to it.
Speaking of, wait a minute, hold up. I know damn well Terrance ain't talking shit about no Diddy. What happened to Brashard Gray when you were supposed to be getting some mentorship from Diddy and Will Smith? What happened to him? Where was you at, Terrance? Nah, I'm not saying that he had to be looking out for bro, but I'm just
Right.
saying, look at Brashard Gray after he done got what was it, the mentorship from Will Smith and Diddy. Bro ain't been right in the head since.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, I don't trust these people. Once you make a movie, a TV show, you put out an album, I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But when you, as a regular person, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be nowhere near you niggas.
Like I seen another thing with Justin Bieber, and he was standing there, and Will Smith's son Jada Smith came up and scooped him from behind, and he's like rocking with him, pelvis to back, and he's dancing. He looks back, and he like, and still dancing. It's like, oh, so this, oh, okay, so you're comfortable with that.
No,
Oh,
they've been comfortable with this. It's because the audience is not comfortable with this.
right,
This is what they're comfortable with. They're
right.
at the point now they don't give a fuck. They
Mm-hmm.
don't care. They're just gonna do what they do, and then it is what it is. It's just the audience is not used to this type of behavior from their so-called favorite actors and actresses because they put them in a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
You holding a motherfucker up on a pedestal. Another nigga that pee and shit just like you holding them up on a pedestal. Yeah, I think you need to watch 40-year-old version again. We don't put it up on a pedestal.
And plus, you're from New York City, like,
Never that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
What? Nah.
And the reason why I say that is like what people don't realize, the most famous person that could be walking down New York City,
We don't give a damn.
don't care, like, oh, word,
Like, oh, all right, well, that's what's up. And
yeah,
we keep it pushing.
yeah.
And seeing hella celebrities don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And they happy to be in New York because they know New Yorkers don't give a fuck about
Yeah,
you. As long as you're not in my way, bro, that's all I care about.
I seen
Don't walk with the slow bop in front of me. That's it. Pick up your
running with
bop
the
step. You know what I'm
slow
saying?
bop. You know what I'm saying?
No slow bop in front of me. You know what I'm saying? You better have some pep in your step.
I seen Harvey Keitel, coming out the Italian gator boot spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's dude from Sister Act, yo, and so many other fire movies. Okay, uh, y'all got these Pradas in 11 and a half. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going back to my business. You know what I mean? So just the business of New York is, but in other places, people really do care and people really get inspired. And there's nothing wrong with getting inspired by somebody's art because that's the whole purpose of putting out art. But when your art is tainted by demonic entities that is basically is just is saturated in, then the art becomes tainted itself. When you sacrifice your morals and the thoughts that you're putting out. I mean, at the end of the day, Terrence Howard did shed light on it. Again, is it true? We don't know. We're not there. Could it be true? Absolutely. Timing is questionable. Does it make it any less true? It doesn't, because it's based on, if you look at a lot of actors from the 30s and 40s who were child actors, and you watch these movies when you become an adult, or you see scenes and clips, and they surrounded by adult men looking at them like steak dinner. Like, these adult men is looking at the child actor like how I would look at a fine grown ass woman, and all the things I would do to this fine grown ass woman. These men is looking at this child like that. When you hear stories of the lady that plays Dorothy, she was only like 14 or 15 when she got that role, if I'm not mistaken. And the word is that she had to go through Hollywood, if you get my drift, because of how it was. There was another little girl. I can't think of her name at the moment, but she was singing and dancing in movies and things like that. And she said when she turned 13 or 14, that her and her mother went to the studio office, and the studio head had his assistant or like a co-studio head, and that co-studio head took the mother to another room and then had the daughter, which was like 13 at the time or 14 at the time, try to clap. If y'all know what I mean by clap, he tried to clap, and then later on, when both mom and daughter got in the car, their experience was similar as far as these people was trying to essay them.
The whole movie of Scream is all about that. The whole series of Scream. You start from Scream 3, 2, and 1. The whole thing is about essay.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the whole series started.
Mm-hmm.
Neve Campbell's mom, when she was younger, wanted to go to Hollywood because she thought she was going to be a Hollywood star. And this the 70s. That's what the dude said in Scream 3. Oh, it's the 70s. You know, we were doing all types of crazy stuff. There
Mm-hmm.
was a Hollywood party. She went to the party. Something happened. And then years later, she gave birth to a child who she gave up, who ended up being the son who goes back to the town to tell the two kids to start killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because he got rejected from the mother because she didn't want to get reminded of what happened to her when she was a kid, going to Hollywood to pursue her dreams. They put that in the damn movie.
Yeah. Yeah. They said they ran through her.
Like, what were you talking about here? When art
Right.
imitates life, would they stay blurring these lines? That's why I don't trust actors, because they always blur these lines and make you think, wait, hold up, is this true or is this not real? But then when the actors sit down and tell you, well, years ago I had all this trauma and I was going through, how you going through all this trauma? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out, you knew their mother drove them to get the trauma done on them.
Right. Right. Or
Dropped them off, rang the doorbell, and waited in the front.
mm-hmm. Or the
That's the industry.
or the mother was getting trauma done to her just like how at the same time, because again in that young lady situation they both had the same experience.
But see,
So,
the mother was gonna send the trauma happened to her, but then she gonna go with her daughter to have the same trauma happen to her too. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And then it's continuous.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's all in the family. It's deeper than most people realize. This stuff right here is, when it gets really, really down to it, a lot of people ain't gonna even be ready for half the shit they do. This stuff with Diddy is just passe shit. That's normal shit. Y'all can't handle this normal shit that, I'm swear to God, this shit that Diddy and all that stuff, that's normal. That's an everyday thing for them. And yeah, if you as an audience can't handle that, y'all can't really handle what's really, really going on. The real crux of the matter, real shit that's really being handled that they don't really want to talk about. Mm-hmm. But when them shits come out, we'll see who's really ready for that.
And I'm not laughing at the trauma version. It's the fact that you say passe, because normally when we talk about passe, we always talk about molasses being passe. So, so yeah, I agree with you. Acting itself is not a form of being demonic. It's just what is based in the people who run Hollywood, the people who've been running Hollywood is based in demonic behavior. So if you want to make movies, there's nothing wrong with that. Make your own movies. Have your own production company. Have your own production team. Build it based on the art and not based on what the everything around it is supposed to be. Because
You
Hollywood,
don't
all
you
of it.
don't need Hollywood, son. I see ill ass programs on YouTube where motherfuckers making the shit off their iPhone. You don't need Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You got your dream, you got a vision, get a camera, do it yourself. You don't need Hollywood. You could distribute your own thing. There's too much there's too much technology out here for you to not do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You really got a dollar in the dream, put it together and make it happen.
Make it happen. There's multiple ways to get your stuff heard or seen. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Final four results are concluded. We got a championship game coming up. Houston beats Duke and Florida beats Auburn. So we got a matchup of Houston versus Florida. I predicted Florida was going to be Auburn. I thought Duke was going to beat Houston by a very small margin, but Houston came back. They was down by 9, if I'm not mistaken, in the last like minute and a half, and they came back and won the game. You know, the magic of Final Four magic. Great game. So I'm looking forward to seeing Houston and Florida for the championship. What do you think about that?
Top 10, the top 10 teams right there. Like Houston, the way they came back and won, like showcase